Now, what if I told you that your 800 score could still get you denied for funding? Today, we had a man who went from a 426 credit score to securing over $2 million in funding.
One of the first things that you must do is realize that you have to date the bank. And y'all move too fast. I'm gonna be honest with you, this may go viral. She's not wifey material.
My consultation was Thursday. On Monday, they took away my 25K limit and put it to 1,000 because I have not spent it in a year, bro. You gotta use it, you gotta spend it, or they gonna take it away from you because
we go in, we apply for credit card number one, $10,000, 0% interest. We then go and apply for credit card number two, 0% interest for 9 months as well. We take the limit, the $10,000 limit from card two, push it over to card one. We now have one card, $20,000 limit, 0% interest for 9 months. We're making the bank compete to lend us money all 2026 going forward.
Everybody must eat, like Dub say.
Entrepreneurs, business owners, anybody that is struggling with access to maximum exposure with your personal credit cards, business credit cards, structuring your LLC or corporation. It's a multitude of things that you are missing out on, stopping you from getting access to your first $100,000 at 0%. And what I want to do is coach you to your first 100,000 or your first million. No matter where you're at, you're gonna get value from my $99 community where we break down everything from personal credit mastery, business credit mastery, travel hacking mastery, manufacturer spending mastery. Nothing is left off the table in this community. Listen, for only $99 a month, you can come and sit down with me and hundreds of other entrepreneurs and business owners and ask me rapid fire Q&A. How much would that be worth to sit down with a multi-seven-figure business owner to answer your questions? Most people say it's worth thousands, but I want to grant you access for only $99 a month, and you can cancel anytime with no pushback. I'll see you on the inside, and in my words, everybody eats. Let's go.
Hey, welcome back to the Building Billions podcast. Hey, man, before y'all do anything, this is season 2. Make sure you like, comment, share, and I appreciate y'all's support. Tonight, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I got super friends, man. Like, I got real super friends. I'm well connected, highly respected across 50 states, and that's just me. That's how we do it, the Building Billions. Now, what if I told you that your 800 score could still get you denied for funding, and that a 720 score can get you over 6 figures from the bank? That's because the game isn't about the score, it's about your profile. Today, we had a man who went from a 426 credit score to securing over $2 million in funding. Yeah, you heard it right. $2 million in funding from a 400 credit score. He's here to give us the blueprint that the banks don't want you to have. Dub Washington, welcome to the Building Billions podcast, my guy.
My brother, it's a pleasure to be here, man. I appreciate this Southern hospitality, as they call it, brother.
Hey, man, likewise. You from the South? You told me earlier, where you from?
I'm from South Carolina, bro. Small town.
Small town from Jackson, Mississippi, bro. So we know about the sticker bushes.
Come on.
And the catching the lightning bugs and put them in the jar, bro. We know about the Vienna sausage and all that stuff, man. Yeah. So, hey, man, welcome home, bro. You know, Texas really not the South, in my opinion, bro. Because the food ain't that good, bro. Like, not like how it is in Mississippi, man.
Okay.
Mississippi, you can go to around the corner and get some good fish. Around here, bro, I don't know, man. So if y'all let me know in the comments, man, if it's a good places to eat in Dallas. I haven't found it yet. So, hey, we just gonna kick it off with that. I'm talking shit, but hey, it is what it is. So let's start from the bottom, Dub, man. Take us back to that 426 credit score. What did life look like back then? And then what was the moment that you decided that you had to change, bro?
Man, so it's amazing that you say take me back to it, because I want the viewers to know it wasn't that long ago. This was probably 2016, 2017, whenever I had that 426 credit score, and just thinking that I could operate in the world with such a low credit score. Because you say, you know, we both from the South. We really gonna take this down South with it. And everything that I was used to was buy here, pay here. Right? We were not used to operating, leveraging our credit. We was solely based on cash flow. So if you had cash or access to capital, you could do whatever it is that you wanted to do. And I think most of us get accustomed to operating in that environment that is just second nature. We just become used to it. So for me, you know, I had to change in my environment. You see what I'm saying? We was talking before the pod, is like the importance of your environment and how people around you dictate the way that you think, the way that you operate, the way that you move is very important. So, you know, That was 2016. I'm working a job, and I'm like,
Yeah, I think when I met you, bro, you was on the Zoom calls driving the forklift.
bro, come on, man. I was, and that shows the locking in and just wanting different, because during the time whenever I was driving that forklift, I was comfortable with where I was at. So I'm a warehouse shipping and receiving supervisor. I'm able to maneuver and leave work and, do whatever I wanted to do, but it wasn't enough. You see what I'm saying? I often say this right here. Exposure awakens an appetite for something that you previously didn't know exists. So I was exposed to mentorship, community, and a lot of these things that I wasn't accustomed to, or used to being around. So whenever you see me listen to the calls on the forklift and doing all of that, man, like it was just a reality check. And I'm like, listen, I know I want more out of life. I know I want to provide more for my loved ones, my family, friends, etc. And I just had to turn up, man. I had to take leverage to the information.
Leveraging the information. And I kind of like what you said, like, you're doing it for your family. And we spoke about this earlier, bro, when I asked you, like, why do you do this, Dub? And if you don't mind, share with the audience your answer to that, because it gave me great perspective on why I do a lot of stuff. And I'm glad that you said that to me, because I never said that out loud, but it's always been in the back of my mind. I always knew why I was doing the things that I do. But when you said it, bro, it still resonates into my system how you said it. So share that with me.
All right, man. So I'm just going to break it down straightforward. It's like a lot of people associate me with giving game, giving value. But like I told you earlier, I was like, I don't do it for the people. I do it solely for my kids. And whenever I come on different Zooms, whenever I'm on my coaching calls, I often tell the adults on the call, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for your kids, because your kids got to operate in the world with my kids, and I don't want my kids to be food on your kids' plate. So, where we used to coming from, like if someone got something and you want it, it's like, we're gonna check you for it. So moral of the story and everything that I break down is like, listen, man, I'm trying to leverage information and be able to teach it to people as if you were my kids. So even though it's not intended for you, that don't mean that you can't leverage it. And whenever I'm breaking something down, how to audit banks, how to go and get access to capital, I'm really leaving this blueprint solely for my 3 kings.
3 kings.
Come on.
You got 3 of them.
Man, listen.
What's the age?
7, 6, and 2.
Wow, bro. That's a blessing, man. So you talk a lot about faith, bro. How big has faith played a role into what you're doing right now?
Listen, bro, we about to get into it. So outside of mindset, and I'm not saying mindset is above faith, but outside of mindset, I'm going to say that faith was that starter, that jump start, right? For me to really dive in, because how many times have we seen people in the space and you get the success that you prayed for, but you're not a good steward of what he blessed you with? So just like we was talking earlier, it's like, my journey took a major shift back in July, whenever I was literally getting everything that I was praying for.
Right.
Prosperous months, family structure, a lot of things that people see, and I don't showcase like a lot of my personal stuff. Me and you cool, so we know different things, but moral of the story is like, listen, man, I had to do something for me. Whenever we're entrepreneurs, especially as husbands, especially as fathers, right? We always put in the wives and the kids on the front end of everything that we do. But when's the last time that you truly done something for you? And faith is one of those things that nobody else gets the benefits outside of that other than yourself. So whenever I jumped into faith, really diving deep, and I'm not here to say that I'm a preacher or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, with my walk with God, he understands where I'm at. We have conversations every single day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that has been a major component of my success thus far, because like I said, he blessed me with the finance. That's all I was praying for at that time, because that's what I physically seen that, represented success to me. But then whenever you realize and you dive deeper into that word, you understand, like, listen, bro, like, this is nothing new is under the sun. Like you gave me that bar earlier, and this is a rat's race. It's like whenever people are living check to check, that's one thing. But whenever you are going and you live in year to year, the scale just moves. And sometimes you may move from check to check, year to year, 5 years to 5 years. You're still doing the same exact thing, but just on a wider frame.
So when you say faith, like what are you kind of implementing when it comes to faith? Like, are you spending time in the Bible? Are you going to church? Like, what's your way of showing God's His grace?
First and foremost, well, I don't want to say first and foremost. Let me retract that statement. One of the major things that I did in my journey was I started tithing, because for me, specifically for me, and maybe for a lot of the viewers watching today, is that we idolize the money, not necessarily the money in itself, but the exposure that the money gives us to different lifestyles and different connections and resources, so on and so forth. So for me, I had to part ways with the money.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because whenever we know that you are driven by money, you can be bought at any given price.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, it's tithing.
Okay.
It's spending time daily with the Lord. You so even if you just starting your journey out 5 or 10 minutes,
Right.
just being noticeable before your feet hit the floor. Thank you, God, for the opportunity to breathe. Thank you that all my limbs are moving, so on and so forth. So for me, it's just the foundation, or that basic foundation of getting me to that next level, because like they say, what good is gaining the whole world if you lose your soul?
Nah, I love that, bro. And the way that you break it down is very unique. And I told you earlier, like, bro, I wish you had a Bible study class, because, like, you would definitely pour into me, bro. So, hey, take a thought about that, man. Maybe kind of implement that into your system if you can, because I think it'll be beneficial, if not for everybody, for me. So, as a brother, hey, man, look out for your boy.
Get the Bible study going then, bro.
Appreciate that. So, bro, your brand is Everybody Eats, right? Everybody Eats. You got a plate on your shirt right there.
Yes,
on the
sir.
back of it, say Everybody Eats, bro. A lot of people in your position would gatekeep the information that you have, that you really give out for free, that you give out to YouTube. You also have a mentorship that you give exclusive game to, but Everybody Eats, bro. So what made you not gatekeep this information, this high level information, not only to like the free audience, but to your paid audience as well?
So the Everybody Eats slogan come from, once again, us being from the South. You from Mississippi, I'm from South Carolina. Whenever my grandma used to call all of us in from drinking out the spigot, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
From playing basketball, throwing the football around. Whenever she say the food is ready, it wasn't just for me. It was for all of my friends that came to play basketball and to turn around with me. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that we shooting water guns with, so on and so forth. So that's where the brand or the slogan Everybody Eats come from. And then I just transitioned that into pretty much financial literacy, because with credit being made up, with me giving you access to information, that doesn't take the overall amount of credit or the availability of credit away from me. As long as I got the correctly structured profile, we can still go and get access to money. Now, I like to take everything biblical based and faith based. What's one of the first things that Jesus did when he started his ministry? He went and got 12 people that he could ride with. And let's just say that we go and get 12 different people who have access to $1 million plus in funding. What you could do with that? You can jump into commercial real estate. You have access to way more capital versus you trying to do it by yourself. So I would say, in a sense, I'm trying to, and I don't want to seem like I'm Jesus or anything, but I try to emulate some of the steps that he took, was let me get 12 people around me with access to $1 million plus, and let's see if we can make this thing cook.
And building that tribe, essentially that's what you have, right? A tribe of people that take what you say and implement and execute at a very high level. What you have in that tribe, I know you feel the blessings that come with that, right?
Yes, sir.
I know you feel the blessings. So I think that's just big, bro. So let's get into it, man. So 428 credit score just 4 years ago. Right now, let's just say $1 million plus in funding. For the people that don't know exactly, what is funding to you? What is your definition of funding?
Oh, that's good. We getting spicy now. Funding is access, because whenever you get access to something, you can properly leverage it to get you to that next level. So if it was any one individual word, I would say that funding it would be access. Whenever you get access to capital, AKA funding, it opens doors for you. It opens better lifestyles for your family. It opens better schools for your kids. It opens better networking and better resources. So, with everything based around that, if you do what you're supposed to do with that funding, you then leverage it to get more access. a lot of people incorporate getting access to capital is like, I'm rich, I have more money. But the true value of a currency is relationship. So that's what I would say is like access. What are you accessing with this availability of funding?
Okay, so you talk about access. How does somebody get in position to get access to funding and to grow those relationships?
So one of the first things that you must do is realize that you have to date the bank. Banks are judging you based on how long you have been with them, your frequency of deposits, right? The variation of deposits, not just cash deposits, not just ACHs, so on and so forth. So how does somebody get themselves in position is by dating the bank. We have a 90-day deposit relationship sequence that we run with each bank before we go in and ask them for the money. In 2026, we are not walking into the bank without at least having a 90-day deposit relationship. Mike, me and you both married. So for the viewers who are not married, kings, whenever you are approaching that female and y'all move too fast, I'm going to be honest with you. This may go viral. She's not wifey material. I'm just going to be real with you. You are going to judge her differently if she make you wait for 90 days, 180 days. So the longer the relationship, or the longer the wait, the better the relationship. And it's no different with the banks. We got to apply certain life principles to the banking sector because it's no different.
So you brought up marriage. So should you marry the bank or should you kind of...
So with that, man, you know, we're going to take a little bit of that sauce and bring it over here, but we ain't marrying no bank.
Okay, all right.
So we're going to date the bank.
Okay.
We're going to get what we want, and then we're going to go on to the next one. Opposite of marriage at that point.
Okay.
But yeah, we dating the bank first. Because once a bank gives you access to the max exposure, for example, Navy Federal, you get $80,000 across your personal credit cards. They can no longer service you in the personal credit card aspect. So we moving on to the next bank. We date the banks, we marry the wives.
So it sounds like you're making the banks compete for you.
Come on, we're making the banks compete to lend us money all 2026 going forward.
Man, so making the banks compete to lend you money. So why would banks want to compete to lend you money if you already kind of hit the max exposure from one bank?
Got you. So the banks love nothing more than deposits, right? So once we understand that fractional reserve lending is the primary source of how the banks make money, and I often ask people this question a lot, is like, how do you think the banks make money? A lot of people say they don't know, and then I come back and I tell them, how the banks make money is by lending out my money to you, your money to another mentee that you may have, and so on and so forth. So it's the cycle of money, and then they're lending the consumer's money to other consumers or businesses, and then they're charging a spread on it. The more deposits that you have at an institution, the more they're going to bless you because they made more off of you.
Now, is all money the same money, or do the banks have different types of money?
Oh man, this is good. This is good right here.
The different types of money, like, okay, break that down to me.
So I specifically love to leverage business credit cards.
Okay.
But before you can get to business credit cards, you got to go out and build individual scores. So you got to start on a personal side before they can trust you on a business side. Whenever you start with an institution on that personal side, they understand your borrowing behavior. They understand your consumer activity, where you like to spend money at, so on and so forth. So personal and business credit cards is going to be, first of all, my favorite because it is the least resistance, as I like to call it. You can go in and get access to $100,000, $150,000 from a bank with no documentation in the form of a credit card. If you go for a line of credit, they may request 6 months bank statements, or they may request 1 year tax returns. Your business had to be in, established for a year. Or if you're on a personal line of credit side, you gotta at least have a 680 credit score, and then they gotta get 1 year tax returns or 6 months bank statements. So I personally like the business credit cards and personal credit cards because it's the least resistance and easier to get. And the primary reason is because they're going to give you 0% interest. You can't even get 0% interest from your family.
Right. Nah, because as soon as you give them some money, everybody know.
Come on.
So that's interest right there.
Come on.
They interested in what's going on.
Come on.
Yeah. So you say 0%. What banks in 2026 is giving out 0% on the personal and the business side?
Wells Fargo, Chase, American Express, Bank of America, PNC, a lot of the national institutions that we go to, they're the ones that's going to be giving out that 0%. But what I often tell people is don't necessarily get caught up in chasing that 0% because you may have to go out and access some personal credit cards just to get that comparable on your profile. And it may not be 0, but you want to show other institutions that you can leverage it from, your recent high balances on your credit cards, you leveraging it and paying it down, also known as a pay down period. So it's multiple ways for you to go out and access it, but just don't get caught up in trying to chase that 0%.
And then for me, I believe like you don't want to get too much 0% at the same time because now you done ran up the bag with nothing to do with it. Have you experienced that?
For sure. Whenever I started my journey in 2021, whenever I first started getting exposed to this information, I went out and I added 27 credit cards to my profile in a year.
Jeez.
But this is the part that a lot of people don't understand. You got to go through that nurturing or gardening phase to get to the 2 million, to get to the 1 million. So I had to go in, get access to a whole bunch of credit cards. At the time, it was 27 credit cards. I probably ran up a little bit over 1 million, right? But what happened was I started getting denials due to too much available credit, too many recent new accounts, and I wasn't showing them that I could leverage it. So whenever you're going in, you must understand how to cultivate and nurture these credit cards to put you in position for a later time. So never go and get too many 0% business credit cards or personal credit cards at one time because the banks are going to judge you based on what happened to your profile over the past 6 months. So that's a great question, bro.
So when you got that money, you essentially figured out that you got to start spending it.
Oh, for sure. Because if you don't spend it, they going to slash you, especially now in 26.
Ooh, don't talk about that, bro. Hey, man, so let me tell you a story, man. Shout out Dr. Rose, right? Man, bro, I was finna get some veneers, right? I don't know why everybody say I got a nice smile anyway, but bro, I was finna get some veneers from Dr. Rose. I think it's like 25 bands, bro. And I had a card that I was gonna use. My consultation was Thursday. On Monday, they took away my 25K limit and put it to 1,000 because I have not spent it in a year, bro. What type of timing is that? Like literally had a consultation to get my teeth done on Thursday. On Monday, the bank take away $24,000 from me because I ain't use it. I just had to put that out there, man. So what he's saying is right. Like you gotta use it, you gotta spend it, or they gonna take it away from you because fractional lending, right? They gotta make money off the money. They not making nothing if it's just sitting on it.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
That's 100% right. So, and there's two ways that the bank will lend to you. It's based off of profitability and your credit profile. So, and I know a lot of people often kind of get this confused. You can walk in with a 600 credit score and go and get access to a $50,000 credit card. Why? Because they are banking on you not being able to pay it back each month, and they're going to look at the lifetime of that interest that they're getting from you. So once again, if you have a 800 plus credit score, we are accustomed to the game and how it goes. We're leveraging the credit cards for the 0% APR phase, and then we paying it off. And then once that 0% in, we're not using that credit card. That's going to go in a sock drawer. That's going to go in a folder with the rest of the credit cards because we know better than to pay interest. So the bank is like, okay, if you're not going to use it, you're going to lose it. But then on the flip side, if you are lending based on profitability, they have a small section of how banks like to lend out. So they're going to say, you know what? We got about 10,000 people is going to come in with a subprime credit score, let's just say 640 or below, and we're going to lend them some money, and we're going to make money off of the interest.
Now, that's one way for the banks to kind of separate people. What's another way that the banks kind of put you in a different categories? I know bank rating is one of them, right? And that's based on deposit history, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you kind of break down what bank rating means?
So a bank rating is your average daily balance over the course of 90 days. What a lot of people don't understand is that's why I have the 90-day sequencing that we always talk about. Is like we date the bank for 90 days before we ask for the bag. And your internal bank rating is the average balance that you have over a 90-day period. So if you can go in and structure, let's just say 3 months bank statements with deposits, and to be honest with you, you don't even got to use your own money.
Right.
You can liquidate a credit card throw that into these bank accounts and then build it up that way, leverage the deposit to go and get access to more capital. So they are judging you solely based on your deposit inflow. You can go to depositaccounts.com and then you can look at the inflow of deposits from each individual institution. And guess what? Because we understand that they operate off of fractional reserve lending, at the deposit ratio has lowered, then the lending got to lower. If it has went up 10, 15%, they have more money to lend out. So that's how we prioritize these institutions solely based on the money flow.
Jeez, I hope that didn't go over somebody's head. What's the name of their website again?
Depositaccounts.com.
Deposit accounts. Let me go ahead and let me put that into my tabs right now, bro, because I ain't got that one in my bag. Yeah, okay, I got that one. So pretty much you saying if you go to that site, you can understand and audit the bank on how much deposits they're getting. Yes. And if they're not getting a lot of deposits, that means they can't lend a lot of money.
For sure. So if you go and look at, I don't know one off the top of my head, but let's just say we use Credit Union A. In 2025, they may have a deposit increase or deposit inflow of 17% based from 2024 to 2025. Now, whenever you go from 2025 and then you go into 2026 or the subsequent years, what ends up happening is if the deposit has lowered, they have less money to lend out. If it has went up, guess what? They have more money to lend out. And that's why I say that credit is a lagging indicator. So I know a lot of the times whenever I say things like that, people are like, bro, like, what is you talking about trading stocks? Like, what are you talking about? But if you follow the money, you're going to always know which banks to go to because they're not lending their own money. They're lending my money to you, your money to Robbie, so on and so forth. And then guess what? We're leveraging the public information that they put out to say that's not a good institution to go to, even though everybody is saying Credit Union A is an amazing credit union. They giving out limits, but understand that banks have a lending threshold. So the Citizens play, I'm pretty sure a lot of your mentees know about it, that Citizens often roll out pre-approvals and certain credit cards in certain times of the year or whenever they get a lending capacity. So they'll come in and say, hey, we want to open up the floodgates for the next, we want to lend out $1 billion or we want to lend out $100 million. Once they lend that out in the form of credit, they say, all right, case closed. Let's cut the pre-approval off. Let's not accept any more applicants for this credit card. And they can literally take that application page away so nobody can apply for it. So it's truly just understanding how the banks operate.
Bro, what made you go from like 27 credit cards to, damn, I need to understand the bank?
It was...
What was that moment like? Because you ran up 26 cards in a year, but now it seems like your foundation is, I should have started off by understanding the banks. And that's why you kind of teach it now, because you don't want others to make that mistake.
100%. Imagine having 20 plus credit cards with 20 plus different dates.
True.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
We already have family. You see what I'm saying? We got the wife, we got the kids, we got our own businesses that we're working on and trying to grow. Now you got to sit down on Sunday. All right, let me make sure this coming from this account. Let me make sure this coming. It's way too much. Yeah. So whenever I transition to auditing, instead of me going to get $1 million from 26 banks, how can I go and get $1 million from 10 banks?
How can we get $1 million from 10 banks, Doug? Talk to me.
Man, we getting spicy now, man.
How can I get $1 million from 10 banks?
You can get $1 million from 10 banks by building out a longevity report. Because banks like staying power. You're not going to get that $1 million in, let's just say, 60 days. You're not going to get that $1 million in 6 months probably. But if you truly want $1 million from a bank, you got to understand the right product to ask for. Because we can go to Navy Federal all day and ask for a business line of credit. Just because they offer that product, that don't necessarily mean it's the right product for you. So once again, we're understanding with a simple audit what institutions to go to and understanding, okay, if you have a business line of credit, what is the rates associated with it? How much does it go up to? So you got to know the max exposure for a lot of different institutions so you can determine, okay, I'm setting up my next funding round for this one in particular. And that's where a lot of people mess up is saying, okay, I see that American Express offers a business line of credit. By the way, we never supposed to go to American Express for a business line of credit. Why? Because they treat each draw as a separate loan. So it's a difference between a business line of credit and a true business line of credit. A true business line of credit, like with PNC, what typically happens is You get a $50,000 business line of credit, you draw $25,000 from it. If you pay it off the next day, guess what? No harm, no foul. But with American Express, they lock you into a repayment period. And then if you were to pay it off in, let's just say 6 months, whenever you had a 12-month plan, you got an early prepayment penalty.
Jeez.
So it's a difference between a true business line of credit and then a business line of credit that people offer. But we never pay attention to, as business owners and consumers, the fine print. We happy we got it approved for $25,000, $50,000.
Bro, give me some more fine print. That Amex was definitely some fine print. I appreciate you blessing us with that one. Give me some more fine print. Give me a couple more fine prints that we gotta go, that we must understand when we taking this money from the bank.
Another one I would say is understanding that U.S. Bank, they give you equipment financing, has very loose underwriting, so very easily to get. But certain things don't code as equipment, while certain things do. I'm gonna leave that to the viewers that go and do their research on that part. But if you know what each institution will code as equipment financing,
better create a business.
Come on,
and set your merchant account up right.
Come on, you got it.
Yes, sir.
You got it.
All right, give me one more fine print, dog.
Another one would be, so we went through the credit business line of credit underwriting.
Yes.
We went through understanding what equipment financing is. Another one would be, let's go. Man, you know what? We're gonna skip the fine print and we're gonna go directly to how they can access at least $10,000 in 2026 with horrible credit.
Oh, sheesh.
You can have no credit score.
Okay.
You can walk into a bank, open a checking account with them, deposit money into that bank, and then you get a sign-up bonus based on the money that you put into that account. So at least 1 or 2 trips a year, depending on how fancy my wife want to get, we have the checking account bonuses pay for that trip for at least 1 or 2 of the kids.
So you telling me that there's multiple institutions that would pay you for opening up a checking account? Did I hear you right?
There's thousands of institutions. Thousands between, first off, there's 2,600 banks, 3,600 credit unions, right? So if each bank offers you a checking account bonus, a savings account bonus, we can take capital that we have, and then it's simply as switching your direct deposit from Bank of America to PNC. You want to build with that institution anyway, so just having your W-2 job or your direct deposit going to this institution, you may trigger a $500 checking account bonus. Once you hit that $500 checking account bonus, you can either leave the $500 there and switch it up to go to another one. You look at the end of the year, you could easily have $10,000 plus just from checking account bonuses, all because you switch different banks.
Damn, I like that. So yeah, essentially we can get about 10 bands
easily
a year.
Easily.
And then next year you can get another 10 bands.
Actually, depending on how much liquidity you have, you could go 20,000. Because once we opt out of check systems, and I should have started here, but once we opt out of check systems, which is the consumer reporting agency for checking accounts, once you opt out of that, there's nobody to see how many checking accounts you've opened. So you can go and open as many as you want, and then you could leverage some direct deposit, some extra cash that you may have, and let me just go and build out with that bank. Because at the end of the day, we're already building with that institution to get access to capital. So meanwhile, while we're building with you, you're going to give me $500 just to open a checking account with you, and then later come and apply for a credit card. Even if you get a denial, I still came up $500.
Yeah, I like that, bro. You know, like 4 years ago, we was kind of taught, like, when we get funding to do credit stacking. It's 2026 now. Is credit stacking still a thing? Can you still go and credit stack, or is that kind of faded away?
No, that's kind of like the primary focus of what I teach. You can still credit stack, but it's more so of being strategic with it.
Okay.
Because, you know, some old methods that we heard is that you go to Navy Federal after 11:30 p.m. and you apply and you get a high limit. Like, that's not really the case.
Okay.
You see, I doubt that it ever was, but you know how
we were sold on it, bro.
Yeah, we were sold on it.
We were sold on it.
Yeah, we were sold on it. So now it's more so of doing a simple audit, understanding that this particular institution can give me up to $50,000 on the credit card.
Yes.
But going deeper in the audit, if you don't know the requirements for it, then you're never going to get what you deserve. What do I mean by that? What I mean is this. If you know that Bank of America gives you $50,000 for a business line of credit, but they lend 10% of the revenue, we know the answers to the test to put So it's stated income. We have projected revenue. You lend off of 10% of my projected revenue. Guess what? My business made 500.
So when you teach this to your students, what's the biggest mistake that you see that they may run into that you kind of correct them before they do it, but sometimes they still veer off and do it? Like, what's one of those things that people mistakenly do once they get the funding?
Dub, I hear that you got access to $2 million over the course of 24 months. How can I do it in 12? Fast money is expensive money. If you want 0% money, it's going to take structure, it's going to take timing. So the number one thing that I would say with a lot of my mentees is that they want the money too fast. They skip over the mindset part. If you don't know yourself and you get access to $1 million, it could be detrimental. That's financial suicide to most people. Yeah. So you got to develop a new financial mindset, because going from 250,000 to $1 million is completely different. You see what I'm saying? And not even the fact that you're making the money, just access to it completely changes your perspective on life, because it's not, even if you had 250,000, most people couldn't spend 250,000 if they wanted to in a day or in a month.
Right.
So number one thing that I would say is that they want access to too large of lines too quick without the correct mindset.
Without the mindset. And then in order to even get access to that, you have to build out your profile properly. Am I correct?
For sure. Like, just understanding borrowing behavior. Okay. What does your, and it's me asking the viewers, like, what does your last 6 months say about you? With AI being placed into the banking sector, they understand your spending habits more than you. They know whenever financial struggle has came, because if you have typical pay down periods of always going, every month, making the full payment on your credit cards, not carrying a balance, and then you go to maxing out your credit card with minimum payment, and you, not 1 month, not 2 months, but we 90 days in, the deposits has decreased coming into the institution, they're going to go ahead and cut ties, meaning that put a restriction on your account, lower your spending limit, so on and so forth, before you get all the way in over your head.
Now, would you say to get people in position for this access, they should go and get credit builder accounts?
Oh, no. Absolutely not. Oh, no.
So that ain't right, Doug?
I disagree with that, because what I would tell people is to go out and get a form of a credit builder account, which is a pledge loan.
Not self.
Nah, me personally.
Okay.
I don't like self. I don't like Kovo. I don't like Best Egg. And the reason why is this. You're not going to get access to $1 million plus with those type of accounts on your profile. You're much better going out to leverage a pledge loan, showing access to liquidity, and taking the slower route. Because first off, if you do spend that money on the Best Egg, Kovo, Upgrade, Upstart, any of those, they punishing you with the interest rate. Right. So you truly can never get ahead. Nah. So what I would do is say, let's take the slow road. Let's build out pledge loans, secured loans.
Secured.
Yep. Okay. Build it out that way. So you may go and get access to your first $1,000 credit card. But guess what? That's not a bad thing, because before you can get access to 10,000, you got to get access to 1,000. Let's nurture that card and then go and build out recent high balances. So if I have a $1,000 credit card and then I'm maxing it out every single week, I go in and apply for a credit limit increase. I have already shown them that I can manage $4,000 credit limit. Not only that, when other institutions see that, let's just say I have a $4,000 credit limit, after the credit limit increase, they're going to lend to me based on what they see, because they don't know that it started off at 1,000. Okay. They just know what's on the profile and that you are the primary account holder.
What's a strategic way on how to increase the credit limit? I know you say spend, but with you auditing banks, are there different banks that have different fine prints on increasing the spend limit?
Yeah, so certain ones will tell you that you got to wait every 90 days. Certain ones like, Navy Federal and Apple, they're going to tell you that you got to wait every 6 months. You have certain ones like Citi Card. They're going to only allow you to get an increase every year. I think Citi and Barclays. Of course, things can be revisited, or they can pull your credit and give it to you then. But we like to leverage soft pull, right? So if we want the soft pull credit cards, you must understand the credit limit increase rules. Discover lets you get one every 30 days.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? It may not be extra $5,000, $7,500, but if you get an extra $500, extra $250, and you get that over 30 days, that adds up over time. And what I always tell people is that it doesn't matter what the limit start at. It only matters what the lenders see when they pull your credit. So if they start you at 1,000, you leverage credit limit increases and you may be at 10,000 or you may be at 5,000. Now, whenever they pull your credit, they say, oh, Mike has a $5,000 limit on this Discover card. They're going to lend to you based on the pay down periods and what they're actually reflecting on your account.
What about merging cards together, like limits together? Is that a way to increase the limits?
Yes, sir, man. That's a nice play right there, man. You got me in my bag. Like, I like that. I like that. You done the research, bro. So what I always tell people, that's called a credit limit reallocation.
Okay.
Now, you have to have the available credit to do it. How we leverage it is this. Bank of America has a 2-3-4 rule. 2 credit cards every 60 days, 3 credit cards every 12 months, 4 credit cards every 24 months. Those are what we know as application rules, meaning you can't exceed that. So what we do is we go in, we apply for credit card number 1, $10,000, 0% interest for 9 months. We then go and apply for credit card number 2, 0% interest for 9 months as well. But because we don't want both of those at the same time because they only offer 2, we take the limit, the $10,000 limit from card 2, push it over to card 1. We now have one card, $20,000 limit, 0% interest for 9 months. We close credit card number 2, and then we go and apply for that later to bypass the 2-3-4 rule.
I got you on that. I hope they got that, but I got you on that. So when you close that second card down or the third card, when you merge them together, you can go back and get the card again?
Yeah, assuming you didn't get a spend bonus. So typically when we open a credit card, they'll tell you, hey, if you spend $3,000 within 6 months, we'll give you $500. All we did was activate the card, merge it to the other one, and close the second one down before it even hit our report. So it's a closed account, and then we can go back, depending on their rules, we can go back again in 6 months.
So you're saying don't hit the spend bonus?
No, we're not even going to use the card. We're just going to activate it and reallocate it.
So you don't even have to use it to move it?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Activate it and reallocate it.
Is it a period of time that you can do that? Like, or can you do it like ASAP, or would you say nurture it a little bit?
I would say that it's going to vary by issuer.
Okay.
Because certain institutions won't even allow you to do it. Right? Because, this is a major gem. Like, if you could put it on one card, you really can get busy. So it's going to depend on the institution.
Give us 3 banks that do that.
American Express, by far my favorite. And I'm going to stay right here for a second with American Express and us understanding those application rules and how to properly leverage. The psychology of lending, right? We're going to go real high level right here. The psychology of lending says this. If I'm an institution and I have multiple credit cards, if I give you a credit card that does not have a 0% APR phase, I want to give you a super high limit on that card. For example, the Amazon business credit card, 0% APR, but they're going to probably give you anywhere from $12,000 to $16,000. That's a nice average. Whenever you go and apply for that Blue Business Cash, which is 0%, I don't want to give you a high limit on that card because if you spend on it, I'm not making any money because it's 0% for the first year.
Right.
So American Express is known to give higher limits on their co-branded credit cards. So with us knowing this information and properly leveraging it, we're going to go and apply for the Amazon or the Hilton or the Marriott, get a very high limit. Then we're going to go back in and apply for the Blue Business Plus. And we're going to say, you know what, I'm going to take that 20 and I'm going to merge it over here to where you only gave me $2,000 on. So American Express does it, Chase does it, Bank of America does it, PNC, a lot of the national institutions will do it, but you just got to know, like, whenever you're going in, how to properly leverage it and also understanding their rules associated with it.
Let's go back to Amex, right? I want to see if you know this. I know you do, but what's the easiest way to get into Amex family?
I would say a lot of people don't know this, but opening up I think it's called the Blueprint Checkings account. That's a great starter point. And a lot of people don't even understand that American Express has a checking account.
Checking account, wow.
So you go and open up that checking account, allow them to see your deposit behavior, and then you build out slowly. And most of the time, these institutions are already getting suppressed information from you, or supposed to be suppressed. They're getting it from Credit Karma, Credit Works, a lot of these things that we opt into to check our Vantage scores. They're providing that information because they are data furnishers. So understanding how the bank get paid is by lending out money. How data furnishers get paid is by lending out information.
Data, right.
So if they can go to them to get better qualifying clients, they're going to pay them a small fee, get access to this data, and they're going to send you pre-approvals in the mail. A lot of people may be like, bro, I just got my credit score went up, and then all of a sudden I start getting a whole bunch of pre-approvals in the mail.
Right.
But that's because this information was being shared on you. So best way to get in with Amex is by, once again, open up that Blueprint checkings account.
Blueprint. Do you have to have good credit for that, or is it just a regular checking account?
It's just a regular checking account, but you want them to start knowing you as a customer, because the more they understand you, right, the more they'll lend to you. For example, Mike, if you came to me right now, of course I'm gonna have to discuss it with the wife, and you like, Dub, I need 100 real quick. Before today, I might have been like, all right, bro, I'm gonna get back with you. I might not would have asked my wife.
Right.
But now, because the aura that we got and the chemistry we built today, right, I may say, you know what, man, let me see. Let's see what can happen.
Right.
All because, like I say, we understand each other. So if you can go back to the original analogy that I was using, is that if they understand you by your checking account, your deposit behavior, they're more lenient with you. You see what I'm saying? The older your son get, the more you're able to trust them or not trust them. However the the pizza cut.
Bro, I remember back in the day, like, you used to teach a different style of teaching, right? I know you were talking about travel hacking and MSing and things like that. People can go and watch your old videos and catch all that. But is there travel hacking plays in 2026? Does that still exist?
Man, for sure, man. We don't pay full price for hotels. Like I was telling Robbie earlier, is like, bro, you got to understand, like, it is much cheaper. And I'm not saying it's a better investment, but it's much cheaper to stay in a St. Regis and Ritz-Carlton 30 days out of the month versus paying a decent mortgage in America. Why? Because, man, we can get $1,200, $1,300 a night hotels, and we possibly paying $200, $175 sometime. And you got room service, you got a multitude of different things. So we don't pay for flights, we don't pay for hotels, we don't pay for rental cars. And imagine if the general person just knew this little bit of information to where somebody that's struggling to make a car payment. Man, it's much easier for you just to learn the car rental hacks. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody that's struggling, trying to figure out how they're going to make rent. If you got, and you might not be staying at the Ritz or St. Regis or none of that, but just going to the Holiday Inn or somewhere to lay your head.
$30 a night.
$30 a night.
Right.
You good.
You good.
So yeah, it's a multitude of different credit hacks that we can get spicy with that. But yeah, man, it's a lot still going on, and it's still growing. Still
growing. So if someone wanted to do like a car rental hack with like Avis or Hertz, how would you best position them for that hack? Because I know when I told you, hey, Dub, come on in town, I got you a whip. You're like, nah, bro, I'm gonna run this play that I know with my card to get this free rental or whatnot. So break that down to me. How'd you get that car for so cheap?
All right, man. So this is it, man. The banks and car rental companies and hotels, all of these institutions, corporations are competing for your business. So that's where make the banks compete to lend you money from. But in that same sense, we making the hotels compete for us to stay with them. We making the car rental companies compete for us to rent their cars from them. So all we're doing is leveraging status. Right now, this is the play right here. I got my status. I'm pretty sure you don't need no status because you got the whips, Mike. But you can leverage a Best Western reward status to go and match with National.
Yes.
Now, once you match with National, we're going to leverage that status with Hertz, Avis, Six Car Rental, and all the way down the board. Why? Because, listen, I got status at National. If you want me to come and rent from you, you're going to have to give me that equivalent status with your company. And then guess what? You look up, you'll have 6 different car statuses. And then whenever they don't want to give you a certain price, you can say, listen, Hertz, I went over to National. They told me I get the same economy style car for this price. You charging this price. Now you can get prices reducted too.
True.
Come on, man.
Same thing with flights, right?
Well, flights are slightly different, but it depends on the type of traveler that you are.
Okay.
With me being a family traveler, I got to sometimes look for, sometimes best price because points don't necessarily make sense. So if you're a solo traveler, man, you can get buddy passes to where you can be on standby flights and you only paying the taxes. So you can fly business class for like $60 to international, right? All because you have a buddy pass and leveraging it. So listen, man, you made me knock the caldwells out there travel hacking, but yeah, man, it's still a lot going on in the space. And the thing is, in my mentorship, like we're always talking about a multitude of things. Credit's not just funding. It's not just access to capital. It's more so about just leveraging this individual access of credit to put you in a better position, whether it be for you, your family, loved ones, so on and so forth.
So you speak about mentorship, man. Like, what could people expect when they join the Everybody Eats family?
Man, first and foremost, a lot of people look at me crazy when I say this, but it's a lifetime mentorship.
Yeah.
Lifetime mentorship. Imagine having a coach that's going to come twice a month. Currently, we may go to once a month later, but currently twice a month. And you get the availability to just do rapid fire Q&A because we've built out something over the past 5 years to where every single topic has been covered. Now it's more about you asking questions based on where you're at. Because if you come in now and you try to, just jump in with the mentees and they're asking about fractional reserve lending and liquidity of deposits and all of these different, terms, you may be lost and discouraged. But if you can say, Dub, I'm trying to figure out which state is the best to start my LLC in, you get access to that. We've went till 1 and 3 a.m. before. Started at 8 o'clock, done Q&A all the way to 3 a.m.
And so this is the school community, right?
Yes, this is a mentorship, but I have a $99 school community to where once a month you can come in and do rapid fire Q&A. You know what I'm saying? We have updated modules as of 2026. And then once again, anything that you need a little bit more clarification on or clarity on, you can say, Dub, I seen you drop this module. You explained it this way, but this is my current situation. What would be your recommendation based on this?
Would you say if you had your school community 2 years ago, you would be much further than where you are now?
Man, absolutely. And I wouldn't say it's the community. I would more so say the mentor, because it's a whole bunch of regurgitated information out there. But it's about the updated information of it. And does your mentor really care? Are you a money grab or do you truly want to see everybody eat?
Or does your mentor have the experience of failing and then being successful? I think that's a big one right there, because you made mistakes early in the game and then you kind of switched it up to auditing, to understanding. Now that gives you the credibility to be an amazing mentor. I think that plays a big role into it. Just, the experience as well. Because you've been doing this quite some time, bro. Yeah, Not gonna lie, you've been doing this quite some time.
I never stopped, bro.
I know.
I never stopped. We started October 2021. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people do or have continued to go, but it's not many. We haven't missed a month since October 2021. Think somebody paid me $2,000 in 2021 and they still get to listen to my voice every other Tuesday.
So, bro, like, that's dope, dude. That's dope. Let me see. Let's see. Damn, bro, you didn't get me so much.
Let me ask you something.
Talk to me, bro.
We're gonna switch it. This is the first time somebody came on the Building Billions podcast.
Man, I keep my gloves on.
And they interview. So, with your success, your being a great husband, being a great father, how do you manage? Because we don't often get into this conversation in our community. It's always about the money. It's always about access to capital and what we doing. Like, bro, how do you manage the many hats that you wear? Because there's not many people I see with the longevity that you had, bro, to be in this space this long and still provide impact. And, bro, you ain't folded yet.
Well, I'll tell you this, and it may sound a little cliche, but bro, I've been like this forever, dog. Like, it's in me forever. Like, I was a kid that sold CDs in the hallway, sold candy in the hallway, get in trouble for selling candy in the book bag, Boy Scouts selling. I know how to survive, right? And I know how to stumble and get back on my feet. So first of all, I want to say that. Like, it's in me to do that. I've been doing that my whole life. But when it comes to balance, right, I don't really believe in balance. I think it's a rhythm. Once you figure out a rhythm, it's better than a balance. Like when you balance stuff, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. But when you got a nice rhythm, it flows consistently. So me, I don't try to balance. I don't try to, hey, do this, hey, do that. Bro, I know we talked about it earlier, bro. Like we got a lot of life to live. So I just keep my rhythm just flowing. I'm not trying to balance nothing. I'm not trying to do something over here, then do something over there. It's really my life rhythm, bro.
That's
my
good,
rhythm,
bro.
Yeah.
So rhythm would be the primary word for like how you've been able to have long lasting or longevity in the game, bro. Because like a lot of like man to man, we don't typically talk about this type of stuff. Like, bro, this shit be hard.
Nah, it is hard. It is hard, but shoot, I know I can't go back to where I came from, bro. So, you know, I got partners still back in Mississippi doing the same stuff that they was doing 10 years ago. I know I can't go back to that. So also having that on my back too, just gonna keep me tenfold down, keep my feet on the ground, keep me in that rhythm, bro. Just it's really my life though, bro. It's living life and understanding where you don't want to go to. It's also, you already told me what purpose means. Purpose is my son, right? I can't let my son down.
Come on.
So it's no way in hell that I'm gonna make a mistake that's gonna affect him. So really, I think that's another key component too. So those who don't have the kids, they cannot bend on that or fall on that, but I think that's a big key component to my so-called success or rhythm or flow.
Yeah, bro, that's good, man. And we just flowing at this point, bro, and that's good because, like I say, a lot of people don't really have this conversation because we are accustomed to seeing success being how much money that you make, not necessarily the love whenever you walk through the door. Like, bro, it's rare that I typically step foot in anybody else's house, bro. Whenever I walk into your home, bro, like I truly felt the love. It's like it's welcoming. Yeah. You go in a lot of other people's house, bro, the house is humongous.
Right.
And you walk in there and it's empty.
Feel empty. And that's going to say a lot about the person too who live in it. So yeah, bro, just me being me, to be honest with you. And like, I understand my life path, right? I'm a person that gives without trying to receive. So I think just living that life path of just giving and not worried about receiving, I think that's took me a long way as well.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah. But I kind of want to get like to where you are with your faith too. That's another component that I need to work on in my life, is just getting stronger with that faith, because it is some blessings that I may be missing.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta, man, what really got me diving into this is the parable of the talents. I know you're probably familiar with the story, but you know, for anybody that's not familiar with that story, it's like, what are you doing with the talents that he has entrusted you with? His purpose must go on regardless. Imagine you being blessed with $1 million, but you didn't fulfill his purpose, or 100 million. You didn't fulfill his purpose. So guess what he got to do? He got to take it away from you to give it somebody else, give it to someone else who is going to abide by what he blessed him with. So with me, it's like, I fell into the comparison trap. I would see other influencers online, bro, they making this. I know that I study more than them. I know I'm teaching better than them, but I'm not necessarily making the money that they make. But it was more about, that may not be your purpose. Mm-hmm. My purpose, I feel, has fell into teaching the people, not necessarily how much I make. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. It kind of go hand in hand, but the more you provide on somebody else's plate, the better they'll be, and the more they're willing to pay you in return, because it's just like a human thing. Any decent human being is like, bro, if you do a favor for me, now I want to do a favor for you. So with me, it's just understanding the parable of the talents. It's like he has entrusted us all with talents.
And I think it's also not being selfish too. I think not being selfish will get you far, right? I know you heard of the phrase like, God gave you a gift, you need to use it. Well, me, I think it should go, God gave you a gift, you need to give it away.
Come on.
So when you give it away and you let other people use your gift, you're not being selfish, and then you are living in purpose. So now the money doesn't matter. You just walk in life in purpose. So I think that also creates longevity. And
then like with the purpose that he gave you, let's take it back to the parables, is that they said it was a good businessman who left, 3 people in charge. One he gave 2 talents to, right? No, one he gave 1 talent to, one he gave 2 to, one he gave 5 to.
Okay.
The person that he gave 1 to didn't do anything. They went outside and they buried it. The person that he gave 2 turned it into 4. The person that he gave 5 turned it into 10. So what are you doing with your ability to talk, your ability to teach to other people? Let's even go deeper than that. Your ability to make money. Are you making anybody else's life better with the money, or is it only yours? So it's really just understanding, like, listen, man, I'm trying to be a good steward of what he trusted me with, in a sense. And we get caught at the accomplishment of the money part that we forget about being good stewards of, like, listen, what if you have blessed me to give this all away to open up the floodgates on this side? We get caught up like, bro, he blessed me with the finances. I'm good. That may not be the purpose of that particular blessing. So being a good steward of your overall blessing. That if I want to wrap it up into all of that, or into one thing that I said, it would be more important. It's just like, are you stewarding your blessing correctly? And sometimes your blessing is not necessarily for you.
Speaking about blessing, like it's a big blessing that you leaving to your kids as well. For them to kind of hear this conversation, they're going to go back and watch this, you know, when they get older, bro, to see how intelligent their dad was speaking. Bro, to me, I think that's being a good steward to your family as well. And you know, I think all these are just components to longevity. You ask me about longevity, I think it's just same way you structure your bank profile, you got to structure your life.
Come on.
Same way. Same type of mindset. You got to have a solid foundation, a solid structure to get to the goal. If the goal is to fix your credit right and get to the bad, you got to structure it. If your goal is to have a happy family, you got to structure it. So I think, you know, just kind of go back to what you asked me, I think it's just structuring everything and finding the rhythm, finding the bank's rhythm to get the money, finding the life rhythm to be happy. You know, I think everything is just rhythm. It's a rhythm.
I love it, bro. Rhythm oriented, man. That's what we're going to take from the podcast right there, man. Rhythm oriented, because if you ain't got the right rhythm, listen, man, you off track. You ain't in place.
So lastly, bro, so with all the funding that you have, bro, what are some things that you plan on getting into over the next, 2 to 3 years? What can we look forward to see Dub doing?
Man, I just picked up a book the other day, and I think I'm transitioning into mergers and acquisitions, bro. Like, the upside to already buying a cash flowing business, I have already understood the concept of it, but it was like, sometimes we got to put ourselves through the work of it. Because I actually love teaching. Don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like now that's my calling, is to teach people. I know you're asking about the Bible study, man. We're gonna figure something out with
Appreciate
that. But it's like teaching people, and that light bulb, whenever it go off, to me, it's like, I don't necessarily do it for the money anymore. It's more for the impact. And where I see myself going over the next, let's just say 2 years, is the mergers and acquisitions, buying cash flowing businesses and scaling out the real estate portfolio to where me and the kids can just sit back and travel. Like, imagine being able to travel the world with your kids and have true life experiences, because one of the greatest books that you can read to give you good perspective is the top five dying wishes of the dead. So it's going to give you 5 reasons, the number 1 reasons why people on their deathbed, top 5, what they say they wish they would have did. I ain't going to be spoiler alert for you, but
what's the name of the book?
The top 5 wishes of the dead, something like that.
Okay.
I probably slandering the name, but
okay.
Yeah, when you say top 5 wishes of the people on their deathbed, essentially.
Okay.
But anyway, where I see myself going, man, is like truly being able to leverage real estate portfolio mergers and acquisitions, and then me being able to travel the world with my kids, watching these little kings grow up. And one day I'm on my deathbed and I'm like, man, bro, we got to experience life from birth all the way up to now.
Hey, I love that, bro. Lastly, dog, this is the Building Billions podcast. So building billions to me means longevity.
Come on.
It's not about money. It's not even billions to me. It's not money. It's freedom, right? It's picking your kids up from school. It's taking time off when you want to do something. It's enjoying life. So that's building billions to me. If you could paraphrase building billions to you, what would you say?
Wisdom with inheritance. And what you said earlier is like most people often think, they say he who leaves his child an inheritance is a good man. But the inheritance is not money with us, bro. It's insight, it's wisdom, it's structure. Like you say, shout out to Landon, man, gonna be, what year he coming out?
He in 5th grade now, bro.
So, man, what we got how many more years he got? Great, 6 more years?
6, 7 more years, yeah.
So,
6 years, yeah.
So 2031, 2032. Top point guard coming out.
Right.
We're gonna look back to the podcast
Yes.
and say that. But anyway, man, it's the wisdom, it's the legacy, it's the inheritance, not financial inheritance, but spiritual inheritance. That's one of the most things right there is important.
I love that, man. So listen, y'all. Hey, Doug, do you want to lead the audience with anything before we wrap up?
Man, I'm gonna say my favorite Bible verse, Deuteronomy 8:18. It is he who gives you ability to make money. If he takes away the ability for you to make money, you no longer have the money. So just take that into perspective, man. That's all I want to leave the people with.
Hey, man, blessings. Everybody must eat, like Dub say, man. This is the Building Billion podcast, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Y'all click the link below. If y'all want to get in touch with Dub, I'm going to have his IG down there. I'm going to have a link to his school community down there so you can join the school community so you can kind of hear from this young fella right here, break everything down that he just gave you in more detail, get your questions answered, and just keep up to date with the new ways of life, pretty much. He's not just talking about funding and credit. He's also giving you the mindset. And really what he said was the mindset is the key to everything. You can't get $1 million in funding without the mindset because you're going to blow it. So join Dub's community so you can get the mindset, you can get new tactics, and just have a great mentor, man. He's been doing this for 4 years, no days off. I've witnessed it. And everybody around him has been eating. So another episode. Dub, I appreciate you for coming here, man.
My brother.
It's been a blessing, man. Anytime you're in Dallas, bro, you got to stop pulling out your Amex card when we go out,
Come on,
bro.
man. I beat you to it, bro. You like
stop
that?
doing that. Stop doing that, bro. Next time you come, bro, it's on me, man. Dinner on me. You got to stop doing that, bro. You in my city, man. So
let's eat.
All right, bro. We out.
All right, peace.